Howdy folks, Zach Smith, Pest Dude. Hey, I grabbed a bunch of stuff for cockroach control off of Amazon, the low cost, regular old homeowner stuff, to talk about how you can actually get good results with the basic stuff that you get on Amazon. You don't always need to buy pro grade stuff, okay? So we're gonna go over some of the stuff you'll find. Combat Max, which is a gel bait, which I'm a fan of gel baits. Then we've got the Hot Shot liquid roach bait here. Okay, this is another major homeowner brand or do-it-yourself brand. It's a liquid bait station. Okay, so we'll go over it, but they're gonna go in there and feed. Okay, here's a solid bait station. Okay, so it's a paste bait that you would put under your cabinet or where the cockroaches are. Cockroaches like to stay hidden, except for at night when they come out to feed. They like the dark. So you put these things. Here's another one from Combat. All right, this is another paste bait. It's they call arenas. They're little stations where you can't get your fingers on the bait, but the cockroaches can fit in there and get it, right? Similar to putting like mouse bait in a mouse bait station, okay? And then we've got where basically glue boards, and they call this a roach trap, okay? This is one of those Amazon ShieldDeck, okay? So, I don't know this brand per se, but it's a glue board. All right, there's glue board in here, and it comes with some attractant. All right, cockroaches are attracted to things that are decomposing, fermenting. All right, so first and foremost, this has got the same active ingredient as a lot of pro-grade stuff. It's fipronil. Okay, fipronil is just super toxic to bugs. Beauty of this stuff is that if you put it in the right spot and they feed on it, when they die, they tend to die where they harbor, where they sleep. And because cockroaches are filthy little monsters, the other cockroaches eat the dead and they pick up some of the active. So there's some transfer effect, okay? So that's pretty cool about Combat. The thing about this is you want to really get this in small amounts where the cockroaches frequent. Often you're seeing them, let's say under the kitchen sink, okay? I don't want you to put down, this is not caulking. This is not a caulking gun. We are not caulking the seams, okay? I want you to put down little droplets in a row, in little cracks and crevices and corners, okay? And refresh it regularly. It's really straightforward. You just take it out, you use the plunger, and you push, okay? But most of the time I see people put out big, thick beads, like it's caulking. No, for cockroach control with this stuff, you want to give them teeny little bite-sized dollops, all right? There's some variability. Lots of other people will say somewhat different stuff, but nobody's going to say you're caulking all the seams, okay? And don't spray over your bait. Once you're baiting, you're baiting. Don't get any spray near it, okay? Now, here's the liquid roach bait, all right? So cockroaches tend to be thirsty. Now, not all cockroaches, but we're dealing with largely German cockroaches in this. Your worst case scenario is small, numerous cockroaches in your kitchen, okay? That's likely going to be German cockroaches, and those are the notorious cockroaches. All right, so here's a liquid bait station, and you basically just open it up, and again, put it where the cockroaches go. Not on your countertops, not all over your kitchen floor, not where people are going to step on it or your pets are going to, be sniffing around. We're talking about back in your cabinets. Pull out drawers. Where have you seen cockroaches? Where have you seen their droppings? Their droppings look a little bit like coffee grinds that don't belong where they're at, okay? If that's what you're seeing, put this stuff near there, okay? They like to be dark and damp and moist. Put this stuff in dark, damp, moist places. All right, so here's the Combat bait stations, okay? Same thing. I'm not a huge fan of this. It says kills the nest. By the way, the idea of a cockroach nest is a little bit of a misnomer. They do harbor in communal areas, but they are not a nest-forming animal. It says 12 months, okay? One thing I don't love about pesticides is when it's like, just do it once and you're going to be good forever, That's not the way this stuff works in my experience. In my experience, all pesticides work best when they're applied carefully in conjunction with an IPM program, think Intelligent Pest Management. Integrated pest management is what the industry likes to say. What is integrated? Everything that the pest is thriving on is something that you need to disrupt. All right? So when you integrate your pest management, I don't know, intelligent pest management. Take away their food, take away their harborage, take them away. Boom. Three legs of the three-legged stool. Now, this is low-key important stuff. This is a glue board, okay? Inside of this is sticky glue. We use these not to reduce populations, but to see what the population's all about. When you take glue boards like this, especially because they come with an attractant, and you place them under your cabinets and along your baseboards and in your pantries and wherever, when you see you've got cockroaches stuck to them, then that's where you come in with the big guns, okay? That's where you come in with your products. I have no problem with people using a little bit of everything so long as they're not also spraying. Just put your spray where your sprays go. If you're going to spray for cockroaches, please don't use Raid. This is where I've talked in many other videos about using something like Alpine WSG or Phantom or some dusts. We've talked about dusts. We want to use things that the cockroaches will not be repelled by. Sure, there's a time and a place for spraying something that's highly repellent. Call that a flushing agent. If you got your vacuum cleaner and you know there's 10,000 cockroaches underneath an appliance and you're going to spray that a repellent pesticide and then they're all going to come running and you're going to suck them up, I don't think you're there right now. I'm just going to say, if you're watching this video, I don't think that's for you. I think what's for you is a steady, long-term baiting program where you're going to continue to refresh this gel bait. This is my go-to. Can you tell? Refresh this gel bait. You know, I'm not even talking about IGRs today. IGRs are important. Insect growth regulators for cockroaches, very important. But again, we're just dealing with the low-hanging fruit Amazon products here, okay? So your traps are going to tell you where your hotspots are. I'm not recommending this stuff. I'm not a big fan of the paste bait arenas. Try them; they're not that expensive. Cost you very little to try it and not have it work out. But if you have any questions about any of these products, check out the links in the description for where to buy them. Anything you purchase from Amazon does go to support the channel a little bit. But also hit me up with any questions you've got. Go to pestdude.com or make some comments in the description on this video, and I'll try to answer everything I can. But most importantly, you're dealing with a very small, highly reproductive cockroach if you're dealing with German cockroaches, and they want to sleep during the day like vampires in cracks and crevices not too far from where they're feeding. And they'll feed on anything that's damp and decomposing. You'll be surprised what constitutes as cockroach food. So sanitation and drying things up is important. Scour, clean, scour, wash your stuff. You know, they'll feed on grease, they'll feed on decomposing moist paper. It just goes, if it's not, I'll put it this way, if it's not a mineral, if it's not a rock, cockroaches might be able to eat it, okay? All right, I think I've done enough rambling for today. Cockroaches are a very big issue. You don't need to go to great lengths to buy big quantities of professional grade stuff. If Amazon or your local like Home Depot, you know, they carry this stuff. Just get it and try it. Fipronil is the active ingredient. That's solid stuff, okay? That's the real deal stuff. There's no watered down alternative nonsense in active ingredient going on in this product. I'm telling you, it's not about the products, right? Pest control isn't about we pest pros can get the magic product that you can't get. It's about knowing what the pest is feeding on, where they're going, and can we get some of this stuff in their path of travel, right? Right under their noses, so to speak. I see a lot of issues where people are putting any kind of pesticide far away from where the pest is harboring, right, where their home is, and they're not going to go wandering to where they don't want to go. They're not going to go out into the middle of your living room if their home is the moist, damp, under sink area, right? So bring the war to their doorstep, so to speak. And I think that's enough out of me. All right, Pest Dude out.